Well, I'm very interested in using the bike to solve lots of the problems in the UK. So I've been very involved in campaigning on a national level, but it's all about what happens locally, because the vast majority of the journeys in the UK are just a couple of miles long. And at the moment, we do most of them in cars. I've come here to Enfield to see just what 30 million quid buys you, what plans are proposed, and to see what, if any, obstacles are in the way. It's an awful lot of money, 30 million quid, but we have to consider that this area is the size of Newcastle, in population terms. So it's an absolutely enormous chunk of the UK population. And it isn't just about this one route, which is a common misperception, Palmer's Green to Enfield town. It's a network that covers the whole borough, linking everything together, goes out to Edmonton Green and other places. So it links everything together. And that linking together is really important because it's got to be convenient and it's got to be consistent. One of the big concerns in every community, and particularly here in Palmer's Green, is local businesses are concerned about change. What's it going to do for them and their livelihoods? So anyone who wants to put in a cycle path, of course, it might take away some parking. The council here have been particularly mindful of that and made sure that there is sufficient parking to help people with that transition. Every study around the world has showed that when you actually take away parking, people come on foot. 3/4 of the people already come here by public transport, on foot and by bike anyway, that businesses are actually enhanced. But it takes a while for people to get that message. Well, here in Enfield town is where some of the most radical parts of the plan are being proposed, to radically cut down on the amount of traffic here and make it about people, making a people-centric place that's a great place for people to be. Enfield's population, like the rest of the UK, is growing, and it's growing massively. So it's not really a question of should we do things with bikes, it's a question of can we afford not to. We can't afford to have more traffic, we can't afford to have more pollution, the nation's health needs improving, so really we have to do something. Government's own statistics just a few weeks ago showed that car pollution specifically is killing 29,000 people a year in the UK. It's a silent killer that we don't even see. Bicycles, getting around by bike and walking, of course, fantastic solution to that. But people only do it if it's convenient. So if you make bike paths and you push them off to the sides and make it inconvenient, then people simply won't do it. That's human nature. Well, a fairly typical UK high street right now, very car-centric, oriented around everybody getting around by cars, but it won't take much. Just put in some protected space here and people will be able to do their shopping by bikes and bring their kids through here as well. Obesity in the UK is killing 37,000 people a year nationally. It's a huge thing, it's bigger than cancer, but it's hidden, we've got used to it, we don't see it. Here in Enfield, they're spending £80 million a year dealing with obesity. And the bicycle is just a simple way to introduce exercise into people's lives without them even knowing it. So cycling really can be for the young and old, but that's only going to happen if there's space, safe space for them to do it. And wide lanes, like the ones proposed here, are exactly what's needed if more people are going to choose cycling as a mode of transport. Another age-old argument for resistance to change when it comes to putting in infrastructure so people can ride a bike safely is, well, only about 1% of the people in this area come in by bike at the moment, so why are we spending so much money making provision for them? Well, of course it's chicken and egg, isn't it? 65% I think of the people surveyed by British Cycling said I'd absolutely love to cycle more if I felt safe. And at the moment our roads are not an appealing place to be, particularly for people who don't already ride a bike, who aren't confident. So put that infrastructure in, and all the evidence says that where you do that and it's properly joined up, people will use it, everybody benefits. What cycling infrastructure does is make it feel safe for people who don't ride a bike already. Normal people in normal clothes just doing normal things. So this is about people getting kids to school, going to the shops and getting around in a much more pleasant way. In Copenhagen, in Denmark, 50% of kids ride to school. Isn't that something that we'd like to see here? Well, it isn't going to happen unless we make safe space where people feel they can let their kids do that. The public realm improvements at places like Winchmore Hill are just part of it. There's a lot of things in this scheme that are designed to make things not just better for cyclists, but for the whole community.